What's up, YouTube? It's Eric, a Lions fan. Thanks for clicking on this video. Today's not going to be a beer review today, guys. I'm going to talk about today is my experience with Brooklyn Brewing Company and one of the beers that I had on the Rod J Beer Venture Show. I'm going to get this camera done up here when I'm drinking right now, but I am drinking a Founder's Breakfast Stout, which I think is probably one of the best breakfast stouts out there. Stouts in general, kind of, because it has nice creamy mouthfeel and all that. But while I'm adjusting the camera here, I'm going to tell you a little story here. There we go. Anyway, about 2 weeks ago, it's probably going on more like 3 right now. One of our beer chats, which on the Rod J Beer Ventures Beer Flow show, that's with the Average Joe. He also goes by the Beer Patrol. Todd, myself, and Rod, we have a little bit of a 4-panel beer discussion, and on that beer discussion was Brooklyn Brewing Company. And for that beer, I went down to the local store down here in Lansing, Michigan. It's kind of where I live at, not in Lansing, Michigan, but within about 10 miles. But I went up to one of the liquor stores up there, which was on, and if Brooklyn Brewing happens to come across this, it's on the corner of Martin Luther King Boulevard and Holmes Road. It's I think it's Liquor Lottery, I think is what it's called. It's fairly new up there. Anyway, it's kind of more or less for the brewery. But anyway, to kind of get back to my story was, I got some of their, I think their East, I can't remember what it was. It was the IPA. It was East something India Pale Ale from Brooklyn Brewing. And I figured, well, this should be a good one for the Beer Flow show. Well, I bring it back home, put it in the refrigerator, come around to be Thursday for our Beer Flow show, and I talk about the beer that I'm doing, and I pour it into the glass, kind of much like this. I don't know if it was this exact glass. I don't know how many viewers watched that show. But I poured it right in the glass, and there was a bunch of sediment in the glass, and it looked kind of not IPA-ish. It kind of looked more like I don't know if that's particularly supposed to be a red ale or not, but that's what it ended up being. Anyway, continue on. So they said, hey, Eric, why don't you check the bottle of that beer, or the bottle on date on that beer. Ended up being 2012, which is 6 years old. That beer had been sitting on the shelf for 6 years at that particular place. Now, I don't know on that particular beer if it's been kind of shoved around a little bit. No one's bought it, and they're hoping some schmuck like me came along and bought it, which that's ended up being. I ended up paying like $10.99. And when I paid for the beer, I told the guy, no, I don't need a receipt for beer. Well, now I wish that I would have had that, because I would have had some, would have claimed that I had purchased the beer there during that time, and the beer was bad. Well, on our Beer Flow show, we were kind of, they were like, holy crap, 6-year-old beer, blah, blah, blah. Well, ended up being, I asked Joe while we were in the chat, I think is what it really was, right? In the chat, I go, hey, what do you think I should do? And he said, well, you probably should throw an email to Brooklyn Brewing that way, and if they don't respond, then you can go on their Twitter page. Well, I responded back on the email. I didn't get a response back, so I put it up on their Twitter account, and I got pictures on there of the actual beer. It had right on there 2012 right there. I'm sure if you look on, if any of you guys are my Twitter followers, go by Eric, a Lions fan, and scroll through my post, you'll eventually see it. I've kind of had a little bit kind of a snarky response back to Brooklyn Brewing, but I never got any response back at all. And that's kind of where my video kind of leads to here. I wasn't looking for my money back, and I wasn't looking for any kind of gifts or anything like that, or hey, here's a coupon for a free 6-pack of beer. I wasn't even looking for anything like that. What I was looking for is just a response to say, kind of more or less, hey, where did you get the beer at? And we'll look into getting the distributors to take a look at it. Well, I didn't get anything like that, nothing at all. And Brooklyn beer up here is very hard to come by anyway, up here in Michigan. I think there's only the lager, and I think there's only one more up here, which I've really found. Other than probably going to Horrocks over in Lansing, Michigan. But it kind of really put a bad, and I know this isn't really going to be a kind of a rant video, but it really put a bad taste in my mouth that Brooklyn wouldn't even acknowledge that, hey, hey, Eric, we're sorry of your bad experience or anything like that. There should never be 6-year-old beer out there, or kind of whatever the case may be. I just wanted an acknowledgement from the brewery, and I would have been perfectly fine with that. Now, other people said, Eric, you're entitled to get your money back. You should probably go to the alcohol board in Michigan to try to get your money back, all that sort of stuff. I'm just not going to buy the products anymore. That put a really bad taste in my mouth. to put it lightly, about having a beer that's on the shelf for 6 years old, and that Brooklyn Brewing would actually have beer that was that old and would never take it back. What does that say about you as a brewer, as a entrepreneur? What does that say about the people who supposedly distribute your beer? They're not looking at the beer, and who's to say that the manager didn't want to say to take that back? I mean, probably the manager doesn't give two shits anyway. He just wants the money that's coming off the beer if it happens to sell. I mean, I really shouldn't put any of the blame on the manager, because the manager's just there selling beer. I mean, to me, at a liquor store, and that's where I got that at, was a liquor store, they're not going to give two shits about the bottled on or the canned on date on beer. They're just not. They're going to say, hey, sorry for your luck, you're the person who got this beer. Now, I didn't go back and try to challenge the management there, which looking back on it, I did, and I've already poured the beer back and got my 60 cents back. But it really boils down to, number one, Brooklyn Brewing, and number two, the distributor, whoever distributes that beer to the Lansing, Michigan area up here. I've only been able to find the lager, in which that's really still quite hard to find here. And that's the first IPA I've ever seen from those guys. I don't know if they have anything else up here or not. I'm just not going to look for their stuff anymore. I probably pass by it every day when I go to the grocery store, and I just don't ever realize it. But if I do actually realize it, I'm not going to buy their beer anymore, because it's based on that experience. Having 6-year-old beer on the shelf is uncalled for Brooklyn Brewing, and uncalled for to have the distribution center have that beer out there. But that's kind of where I set on it, guys. I really don't care if Brooklyn Brewing actually reaches out to me. I'm probably going to say, hey, I already reached out to you guys once and you guys didn't respond. But it really does put a really bad taste in my mouth, and I'm never going to buy their beer again anyway. But as you guys know, I'm usually an American Adjunct Lager drinker. I'm probably going to go towards the Bud Miller Coors style more than I would to Brooklyn Brewing. It just really did put a bad taste in my mouth for Brooklyn Brewing to just kind of say, I kind of put it as, we don't care about our customer base. We're worried about our final dollar amount. That's kind of really how I took it. So, but guys, let me know what you guys think down in the comments about this. I know it wasn't really supposed to be a rant video. I could probably be yelling and screaming and, calling for heads and all that sort of stuff. But really, it's not one person's bad experience. Is who knows how many other people's bad experience, and who knows how many other people are going to watch my video and maybe maybe I had better not, based on Eric's experience, maybe I had better not buy Brooklyn beer anymore. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and also do a like, subscribe as well, would you? And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hope to see you guys again soon. Let me know if you guys want to do some more of the stuff where I just kind of ramble on about beer, okay? Deuces. Take care, guys.